Russell Westbrook makes his money because fans patronize the NBA product, because television networks respond to the fans' insatiable appetite for that product, and they pay the league an exorbitant amount of money, which enables the league to pay the players. You don't do it so somebody could sit back and say, championships don't matter. I'm a champion in life. Who said you weren't? Russell Westbrook from Long Beach, California. Russell Westbrook's from the streets of LA and Long Beach and beyond. Russell Westbrook is as real, as authentic as they get. He gives to his community. He cares about his people. He addresses social justice issues. He gives voices to the voiceless. He's charitable. He's philanthropic. He's by all accounts, a great man, a great leader, a great husband, a great father, a great family man. Russell Westbrook, regardless of his mean and acerbic demeanor at times, is one of the best people, the most real, straight up, authentic people you will ever see in your life. I respect the hell out of the man. What does that have to do with your game?
All right, guys, you just witnessed Stephen A. Smith on a little back and forth he had with Russell Westbrook, basically explaining that he is past the point in his career of just producing numbers, and it needs to be more about winning. So before I get into my little 2 cents about it, let's just throw out some Russell Westbrook numbers real quick. So, of course, we all know that Russell Westbrook holds the record for triple-doubles in a single NBA season with 42. He also averaged a triple-double for a whole season, ever before done since Oscar Robertson. Second in triple-doubles in a career, Oscar Robertson holding that record, of course, with 181. Russell Westbrook with 157. Even more now, as this comes out to you, I'm sure he's going to do it again in the coming days that I'm recording this. But let me explain a few things to you also who may not, to people who may just be what we call stat sheet fans, guys who just may not be able to watch every game but are going to always look at the stat sheet. So usage rate is a new age kind of statistic that we use now in basketball. So usage rate, for those who may not know, calculates what percentage of team plays a player was involved in while he was on the floor, provided that the play ended in one of the 3 true results: field goal attempts, free throw attempts, or a turnover. On average, a player will have a usage rate of about 20%. The record for highest usage rates in a season is Russell Westbrook for his MVP year at 41.65. Second is James Harden in the Houston small ball season at 40.47. Third is Kobe Bryant in his MVP year at 38.74. Fourth is also Russell Westbrook at 38.37. My point in this is saying that it is not uncommon for an MVP to have high usage rate, but having high usage rate will often put you in a position to have to be the most valuable player on your team if you are a star caliber player like Russell Westbrook is. So let's go into a more negative kind of stat. He is the all-time turnover leader. Here's the all-time turnover leaders in a single season. Number 1, James Harden with 464. You kind of understand that. We know James can be kind of a turnover machine for those who may be fans of James or watching regularly. Second all-time in turnovers is none other than Russell Westbrook. Third is also James Harden. And fourth is also Russell Westbrook. And fifth is, again, James Harden. And Russ is currently leading the league in turnovers right now as we speak. And he has never averaged less than 3 turnovers for an entire season. I say that to say that the numbers that Russell Westbrook has put in front of us have been nothing short of amazing. Now, I don't want to diminish what he has accomplished over these past few years, but there comes to a point where winning has to matter. And being an athlete myself, being a basketball player myself, I personally cannot stand guys who don't put emphasis on winning. I am one of those guys. My coach always used to say, Nelson, I believe if you score 0 points a game and we went undefeated, you'll be happy. And I used to say, yeah, coach, I'll take those W's. Of course, I want to contribute. Of course, I'm not saying that I don't care if I play or not, but winning has to matter more than individual statistics. And I'm not saying Russell Westbrook doesn't want to win, but there comes a time where we have to take notice of what is and is not producing a winning atmosphere. So let's just look at a few things that Russell Westbrook has had at his disposal the past few years. So ever since Kevin Durant left OKC at the end of the 2016 season where he joined the Warriors, since then, Russell Westbrook has not left the first round of the playoffs. And some may say, well, he hasn't had a very good team. So notable teammates of Russell Westbrook since the time of Kevin Durant's leaving of OKC have included Victor Oladipo, All-Star, Paul George, All-Star, James Harden, All-Star, and now Bradley Beal, All-Star. So I think the time has passed of saying, well, Russ doesn't have a good team. That time is over. We can say, oh, Victor Oladipo wasn't a star yet. We can say, oh, Paul George didn't show up in the playoffs. And we can say what we want to say about the players that he's had. But at the end of the day, Russ has had talent. And we have to take notice of that. We cannot continue to overlook the fact that he has had talent and the ability to win. None of us looked at the Houston Rockets and said, oh, Russ and James Harden is not good enough. I don't think anyone's ever said that. And so we all know Russ is a perennial all-star, making generational wealth, as he pointed out in his interview where he replied to Stephen A. Smith. But in his interview, he also stated that championships don't matter. To any athlete that competes, especially in team sports, the time for celebrating numbers one day will be over. And it will be about results. And that is where Russell Westbrook is now. The time for celebrating numbers is over. When he averaged a triple-double, we were all amazed at his talent. Oh, he's doing it by himself. He's doing everything for his team. He's carrying his team to the play. We can't say that anymore. We still can say his numbers are amazing. He's putting up great numbers. He's putting up great stats. But at the end of the day, his teams now have been good enough to win. But they haven't. And it's time for celebrating those numbers are over. As Russ pointed out, his legacy will not be what was left on the court because he has chosen that for himself. His legacy will instead be left off the court for what he has done and will do for the black community, the disenfranchised, and those in need around the world.
And for me, man, my legacy, like I mentioned before, it's not based on what I do on this court. I'm not gonna play basketball my whole life. My legacy is what I do off the floor, how many people I'm able to impact and inspire along my journey, man. And that's how I keep my head down and keep it pushing, because it's very important that you don't let the negativity seep in, because it's been like that my whole career, honestly.
Man, I like this one right here. I really like this one. I need to know what y'all think, though. Who are y'all siding with? Y'all with Stephen A. and Nelson that it's time to stop talking about Russell Westbrook's numbers and certain players' numbers? Got to focus on what they're actually doing on the court and are they winning? Or are you siding with Westbrook saying, don't define my legacy and who I am by what I do on the court. You got to talk about my overall off-court impact too. That's a nice conversation to have, so I want to know what y'all think about that. So if you're listening on YouTube right now, get into the comment section below and comment. Let us know what you think. You got to follow us on social media. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at BeBall Jones, BeBall Jones. Comment and let us know what you think. Follow my boy Nelson on Twitter at NellyH34. Hit him up on Facebook at Nelson Haskin. Let us know what you think below, man. Stay tuned to this podcast. We got a lot more coming at you every single week. We appreciate you listening so far. Got a lot more coming to you soon.